Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your hosts Ell and Lisaboo. And welcome to Project Metal Music's podcast number 91, where we discuss rock and metal and do a few reviews and a few other things as well. So, before we get into the main topic, uh, if you're new or if you think you are subscribed, spank that subscribe button and make sure you're subscribed because YouTube does sometimes decide to unsubscribe people for whatever reason they think is deemed whatever. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, if you like what you hear, spank that like. We do like a good spanking around here, especially if they like. So, and yeah, and share and comment, because it does really help the channel out in a big way. Because if you do that, we get into the almighty YouTube algorithm, and we can reach more people, and we can bring more bands to you guys, and yeah, and help these bands out. So yeah, and if you see at the top of the screen, top of the chat there, and it's also in the description as well. Our gorgeous Lisaboo here has got an Etsy store. So yeah, she's got some amazing stuff there. So Lisa, could you tell people what your store has in store for people?
Um, sure, yeah, it's a Buddha X Studio. I carry lots of stones, crystals, bracelets, pendants, lots of different kind of jewelry. Yeah, so if there's anything that you're looking for, let me know, and I can get it in for you too. So,
Cool, cool. Cool. That's sort of like our little grift out of the way until about an hour's time, where
yeah.
we go into
Hi, replay crew.
yeah. Hey, your replay crew, how you doing? We'll be all right. Yeah. Make sure you leave us a comment and all that good jazz, and liking and sharing it out everywhere. So it does help. So hey, we love you guys. So yeah. But yeah, right. Where are we going today? Right, we are going to do a good few reviews of six bands, and they are Runescarred, After Forever, Luca, Luca turilli. I hope I pronounced that right. Then we've got Thrower, Minimal Regrets, and Straight View. So, right. Right, we're going to kick off with Runescarred and their song Two Thirds. So, Lisa, do you want to start us off with this one?
Sure. Um, I actually listened to the Spotify version of this because when I clicked on the YouTube one, it sounded kind of strange to me, so I went to the Spotify version to listen to it. So
Yeah.
because the YouTube version was kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of off. So yeah, I went to the Spotify version. It was a little bit cleaner, so I could actually hear. So I don't know if you had that issue with it, but
It was a bit, yeah, it was a bit sort of like dirty in the audio type of thing. It was
yeah,
like a bit dirty, but it was, I still listened to it, and it was
yeah,
still good.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I did listen to both versions. So I thought I wasn't sure if they did that on purpose or if maybe it was just a version of it that was different. But
yeah,
so yeah, I just wanted to
yeah,
mention that. So
Yeah.
So if people go on there and they're like, this sounds weird, this sounds off, so they know. So I listened to this song about 3 times, and each time it got better. So, yeah, excellent band. It started so strong with the drums and the guitars, which I liked. The vocals came in low and growling. Yeah, I love the transitions between the clean and the deep growling vocals. Some really cool guitar riffs in this. Great guitar solo, but halfway through, oh, the drums are amazing. Amazing backing, and love the drum solo in this. Thought that was kind of cool. The lyrics are deep. I see it in your eyes. The darkest of lies. No one is home. Yeah, pretty cool lyrics in this too. Love the vocal harmonies and the clean parts. The whole band worked really well together. So I loved this band, and it had a really cool end, and with the guitars and the drum, like a big thump by the drum. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, same, exactly the same. Starts off with some cool guitars, and the drums are insanely thunderous and good. The bass works well with the drums. There's some cool solos of all the instruments, from the guitars, from the drums, and the bass. The sort of like one after another type of thing.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, it's really, really, really good. That is a brilliant little touch there. Brilliant touch. Yeah, the vocals from Fen Scott. Oh, by the way, I've known this band for a good number of years. Um, they're really, really good, really good. Yeah, and same with the same with you. I picked up on the lyrics. Oh, they are on the dark side, and I mean on the dark side. So they talk about, I see it in your eyes, the darkest hole of lies. No one is home. In order to survive, two-thirds must die.
yeah,
So yeah, that's it. You could interpret that um, a few ways. Some will say, or turn around and say, "Oh, it's about local." I don't know if anybody seen the film Michael York film with Jenny Agutter, the film Logan's Run,
yeah.
where yeah, it's
I
where
love
like
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's it's similar to it's sort of like, yeah, sort of like based off that. Where, well, technically it's based off a 1796 thesis by some figure of the time, saying that basically, uh, because he saw the rapid growth of the population during at the start of the Industrial Revolution,
yeah,
and basically he saw that even back then, that the population growth were basically outstripping the food sources,
yeah,
and it's basically said that we could technically should be like sort of like limiting the population growth.
yeah, yeah. That's been a real talking point for a while now. Population control, and yeah, kind of scary to think of that kind of population control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to like basically how many people on this planet now? Over 8 billion.
Oh, so many, so many in just India and certain parts of the world. There's just, but yeah, that's kind of a scary thought. It opened a lot of people's eyes, though, that movie.
Yeah,
To,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, when well, in the movie, it's about this group of people who, when they get to a certain age, I think it's 30, they get chosen, well, chosen to go off and do something, but unbeknownst to them, they sort of like get unalived to keep the population down.
yeah.
So
I
Michael
need to
York's
watch
character,
that again. I need to watch that movie again because it's been a long time since I've watched it.
yes,
Didn't they have like a
yeah,
chip in their arm that would go off
yeah,
at the
yeah,
time when they were
yeah,
chosen?
yeah,
Like right before their birthday, it would go off.
yeah. I think they've got 3 days, something like that, from what I remember of it, and they've got to put everything in order and then go off.
Yeah, I
But
need to watch that.
yeah, yeah, from what I remember, that Michael York's character just found out what was going on, and hence Logan's Run. He runs for it and finds like a passage out of the city and discovers something outside, and he goes back in and brings everybody out. And yeah, what if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is a brilliant, brilliant sci-fi movie
Mhm.
based on that thesis by the figure of 1790. I think it's 1796 or was it 1798. It was round about the late part of the 18th century. So
Yeah. I think there was a book too, wasn't there?
yeah, there was, yeah,
I
it's
think I
of the
read the book
same,
too.
yeah, it's of the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Lisa, yeah, I know it's a bit dark, but straight off the bat, I know it's a bit dark. But what is your rating?
I give it a 9. That's how much I liked it.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. At first, I give it an 8.5. I give it a solid 8.5. But well, since I've listened to it, I thought about it, and yeah, it might have like a dark like undertone to the song. I sort of like you, I'm starting to think about giving it a 9, but it's definitely a solid 8.5.
Yeah. I think the dark lyrics really work with the sound of the
Yeah,
just the whole song, right?
yeah,
I I,
yeah,
I don't mind dark lyrics. Makes you think.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So right, the next band. Now I've sort of like over the last over the last couple of podcasts, ever since I introduced Lisa to this band here, I was like, right, you liked it so much, you like this band so much, go and doing a little series about on this with Lisa Boo's.
I was like,
So,
yay!
so yeah, the band is After Forever, which is Flo Jansen's, as you know, who's the lead singer of Nightwish, one of the biggest bands in the world, especially the symphonic metal band. After Forever is Flo Jansen's very first band when she joined in 1997 at the age of 16. The song that I chose of the Decipher album is called Monolith of Doubt. So, Lisa, take it away.
Right away, I love to start with the drums and the guitar and the keyboard. It was and the orchestral backing is so amazing. on this. Yeah, I love the contrast between the male and the female vocalist on this. Transitions are great. The whole band is excellent. So yeah, and so much passion in this in their music. Yeah, about 3/4 of the way through, I love the keys and the drums together. Just that the melody part that they did. Really cool riffs in this by the guitars throughout. The rhythm section is strong. Vocals are excellent. I love this band. So yeah, I loved everything about this song.
Yeah, yeah. I've listened to this song numerous times over the years, and it is absolutely brilliant. Loved every single little bit of this song, especially the bit between Flo and the male singer. I can't remember the guy's sitting name. It's yeah, but anyway, the Flo's angelic voice
Yeah,
and
it's ethereal. It's like an ethereal sound, like you say, angelic. The male's like darker, growly. Yeah, good contrast there.
oh god, yeah, yeah, it's a brilliant contrast between the two. It's a brilliant contrast, and they couple out with the music. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, yeah, it's like you notice the synths and the drums and the guitars at the beginning of the song. It's it's absolutely brilliant overall. That's the thing with After Forever. They introduced a lot of orchestra stuff in a lot of their songs. Yeah, absolutely brilliant song from and brilliant band overall. Brilliant band overall. So yeah. By the way, I forgot to say all the links to the videos are actually down in the description there. So if anybody wants to check them out, please do. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, right, Lisa, what is your rating?
10, 10 out of 10. Yeah, I love this band.
Cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, so yeah, I'll give it a 10 as well. Give it a 10. And yeah, once we covered the five albums by After Forever, we're going to go on to um, Flo Jansen's other band, the one um, after Forever got split. Was do Revamp, which is two albums. So yeah,
cool.
so you're gonna love Revamp. You like After Forever, you're gonna love Revamp. Right, the next sort of like musician, is a guy called Luca Turilli, who was part of Rhapsody in Fire before he left. So, and the song is called Kings of the Nordic Night. So, Lisa, Lisa, take it away.
Well, right off the bat, at the beginning of the song, is such a beautiful start with the pianos and the vocals and the violins and the orchestral backing. Right off, it's so beautiful. Full vocal choir comes in with beautiful harmonies. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, drums are amazing. Really love it with the full orchestra. Guitars are great, as well as the keyboard. And I love the transitions between the parts. And it was almost like a sea shanty in some parts, and slower ballad like vocals, which I like the transitions there. Um, lyrics are warriors battling in the kings of Nordic times. Super cool lyrics. Love the fantasy feel of this song. The song lyrics are in English partway through. The beginning it was in I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure if it was Nordic or what language it was in, but at the beginning it was a different language. So yeah, it was easier to understand the English part of it, but it had a Celtic feel, which I love. Album cover is super cool. It's a warrior holding his sword to the sky and lightning coming out of it. And there's a hard to tell whether it's a dog or a wolf that he's holding the leash to, and he has the sword going out to the sky with the lightning
Yeah,
bolt coming in. That was super
yeah,
cool. And there's like a snowy landscape, so you get this feel of like this epic song.
yeah,
So yeah, I really love this song. It's brilliant.
yeah. The same here. Same here. It's well, I was prepping up for when I saw this song. I was prepping up for the Saturday Night podcast, and this came up on one into my feed after listening to it. It's one of the songs that we covered on Saturday, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" Right? Okay, this looks interesting. This looks like it could be sort of like a Viking sort of like metal stroke Nordic type thing. I was like, okay, I'll look at it. Listen to the first, well, it's a over 11-minute song. I was like, okay, 11-minute song, okay. I listened to the first couple of minutes of it. By when I looked at it, I was like thinking, right, okay, I'll listen to it. I was like, by within the space, I just like lost track of it and just the whole song played through. I was like thinking, did I just listen to that in 11 minutes? It didn't say it. Do you know where it's one of those songs where
Yeah,
you just want to like hear it
yeah.
and you don't realize that you've sort of like you listen to the whole song. You know what I mean? It's
It just
like
it takes you away to a different world. It yeah, you don't notice the time.
yeah. I was like I was like when I first heard it, I was like I need to set this, the Saturday night stream up, and this was like around about what I think it was. I think it was about not quarter past eight. It was about 8:30, and I was like, I'm streaming in 30 minutes. I was like, I need to finish setting the stream up. I was like, damn, what you doing, El? And you need to, but yeah, it's one of those songs where you just don't realize how good of a song it is, and you just go straight, play it straight through because it's got brilliant arrangements, it's brilliant written, and uh, it's absolutely brilliant. You know what I mean? It's the drums, the bass, everything you could think of on this song is absolutely epic. And what got me is the orchestration. It's the bit between the piano, the orchestra, and the choir. Yeah,
Yeah,
granted, it's a like metal song, but the way that it combines everything together, from the drums, the bass, the guitars, the piano, the orchestration, the choir, everything with it, it's just like it just takes you away for
yeah,
11 minutes and just like transports you into another world.
Yeah. I know. I kept thinking of that there used to be an advertisement for Calgon bath stuff, and it would be like, Calgon, take me away. And that's what it was like with this song. It took me away.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, when I heard this song, I was just like, this could be a brilliant song for like a fantasy film, like you know what I mean, something like Remedy Feist would be a brilliant song for Remedy for if if they ever make a film of his uh, body of work, it would be a brilliant track for it.
I was thinking it kind of, the way it looked at the beginning, it was almost like Beastmaster or like Conan the Barbarian or something. Just the way the guy looked with his like fur on and the
Yeah,
sword and with the
yeah,
wolf type animal there with the leash. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah, very fantasy.
yeah, yeah. I was like, you haven't gotten to um, parts of the book, parts of the series of Feist, but but you have come across the Thuns and the Thurils in the Empire books.
Yeah,
That type of that's where I was thinking of, where where you get to meet the Thuns and the Thurils, but they're sort of like, because the Thurils is sort of like serpent riders. That's where I was like thinking of. It's like sort of like that type of scene. But like I said, there's certain later in the series, you'll sort of like get to know more about them, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah. Totally got that vibe too. So
Yeah,
just ironic that
yeah,
that you picked this one
yeah,
while I'm reading these books.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, what's your rating?
I gave it a 9. I want to
Same
give
here.
it more. I want to give it more. I gave it
Yeah,
a 9,
each.
a solid 9.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I know he's got 3 albums out of like symphonic metal albums. So, and he's working on something else as well. From what I found out about it, about Luca. So, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, so go check them out, guys. The links are in the description there, so if you want to check these bands out. So, the next band is the band called Thrower, and the song Blink Dog. And I have to put this up because of the video.
Yeah, I
So,
have this here too. Disclaimer.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I'll start this one off. It's sort of like, for me, to me anyway, it starts off quiet and soft guitars, and then they sort of like for a few seconds, and then the band kicks in. Yeah, the bass and drums are good. Good solid start with the drums with the band. The guitars are good, solid, and in places sort of like slightly heavy. And I have some good solos in there as well. The vocals are good, and sort of like I don't know if you picked up on it. Sort of like reminds me of an early to mid '90s Soundgarden. Sort of like that sort of like grungy type of
yeah,
sound tone.
Yeah, I put that too.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, overall, it's like I really liked it because of like that sort of like connection to sort of like the early to mid '90s Soundgarden, especially within the vocals, especially in the vocals. Um, but yeah, and the reason why there's mature content, viewers' discretion is advised. If you do watch the video, um, there is sort of like a lot of X-rays of brains, of like CT scans of brains, and plus the band gets drenched in the red stuff, and red stuff coming down the coming down on the faces from head injuries and stuff like that. So yeah, be aware. Be aware if you're a bit squeamish or you're under the age of 18. Yeah, be warned. Be warned in the video about the video. So yeah. So Lisa, what did you think of what did you think of the band?
Well, the slow guitars at the start was with the guitar riffs were that was really cool. I like that. And then the drums coming in strong. The vocals start, and it's a really good singer. Excellent tone to his voice. And it had a grunge feel to the song, which I like, of course. The lyrics are cool. Bleed for me, and I'll bleed for you. That was kind of cool. But the video itself was shot at Phobia Haunted Houses in Houston, Texas. So yeah,
Yeah,
kind of neat, I thought. And yeah, if you're not into horror or that kind of stuff, don't watch the video. Just listen to the song, but don't watch the video. Um, I like the pace of the song. Excellent drums and guitars throughout. Transitions are good. The whole band worked well together. It's an overall excellent song. Yeah, and the vocals were amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I quite like this. I quite like this song, and I quite like the band themselves because overall, the sort of like this overall to me they work pretty well together to actually create the song. So yeah, really good band, really good band.
Yeah.
So what's your rating?
A strong 8.5. I really like that grunge feel and that 90s feel. So it kind of felt like going back in time a little bit. So yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I give it a solid eight. But because of that sort of like early to mid '90s grunge vibe to them, sort of like I'm starting to lean towards the 8.5 area. So
Yeah.
yeah, I quite like them. So
Good.
yeah, yeah. So the next song is the band Minimal Regrets with their song Luna. So yeah, I'll kick this one off as well. Um, I like the use of the soft intro and the soft vocals going into the and the use of the keys as well. Um, the band kicks in with some brilliant drums, which are heavy, and the guitars are good. The bass is good. The male singer, really good vocals on this, and he sort of like does like a sort of like a scream or growl to sort of like clean, like some clean singing in there. Um, yeah, I really like that. Plus, like there is sort of like a female sort of like backing singer uh, running throughout, but it's like sort of like subtle within the song. Um, I love the transitions throughout the song, especially from going from metal to EDM and back again, and then back to metal. Sort of like because they've got a brilliant synthesizer player there, where he where he adds to the sound of the overall sound to the song. Um, yeah, but it's about I think it's about halfway through, or just over halfway through. The transitions from being like a solid like alternative metal track into sort of like an sort of like EDM type of style vibe with like a female sort of like singer there, and then sort of like then transition back over to sort of like when that's finished, the transition over to sort of like a metal stroke EDM type of song.
Hmm.
So I really like that transition there. I really like that transition there. So yeah, a really good song and a really good band. So yeah, yeah. So what's your take on this song?
I like you were saying about the female and the male vocals. That was kind of cool how they had that. Female ethereal voice to start. Guitars come in strong, ramping up in sound. Cool guitar riffs. The male's vocals start softly and then it gets raspy and scream. That scream comes in. Female ethereal vocals, short transition throughout, and then back to the male heavy vocals, which I was cool. I like those transitions. With excellent drums and guitar backup. Yeah, excellent transitions, cool guitar riffs. That guitar solo was pretty cool too. Yeah, the lyrics are deep and dark on this one as well. Never thought I'd feel so lonely, enduring all the pain. Drives me crazy inside. I cannot be the man you used to know. Watch me burn. So yeah, a little bit dark.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
you can feel the deep emotion throughout the song, though, right? It gives you that feeling, that emotion. The whole band worked well together. Excellent rhythm section. I like the use of the female and the male vocals. I really connected with the lyrics too somehow. Like I really connected with that. Um, Very thought provoking emotions. Like the use of keyboard synth, and it's a powerful song. So, yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. So I like it sort of like the transitions so really smooth throughout the song. You know what I mean? It's like really good transitions throughout. So what's your rating?
I gave them a 9. I really, really like this band. Yeah, it's different, right? It with
Yeah,
that EDM kind of feel with the metalcore. Like I
yeah,
just thought it was so cool. They're from Italy, by the way.
yeah.
So
Cool. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, this is some really cool musicians coming out of Italy. Funny enough, you say that Luca turilli is from Italy as well. He's Italian as well. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, there's been some really good rock and metal bands coming out of Italy as of late. So yeah. Anyway, my rating. I would love to hear a bit more from the band, but I would at at the minute I'd give them a solid 8. But I
Hmm.
would like to listen to a little bit more about them to see what they actually like. So
Yep.
yeah.
Cool.
So the next band is called Straight View, and their song Escape. Now I'll start this one off. Start this one off. Um, the intro is interesting. Especially the use of the bass, the guitars, and the drums, mixed in with some of the keys, sort of like it's not exactly your stereotypical sort of like rock or metal song. Because it's sort of like the previous song is sort of like got a hint of EDM to it to the intro. Yeah, so yeah, it was like interesting, but it goes into like this the smooth transition into sort of like the sort of like another alternative metal band, and it's just like um, it's hard to explain. It is hard
Different.
to explain. It's different. So yeah, certainly different, but different in a good way.
Yeah.
So it's good in a good way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the like I said, I love the transitions on this between metal and EDM, and the combo is really cool. I love the bass line and the drums on this. The guitars are cool, and some really good, sweet little guitar riffs on this. The vocals are good and on point, and overall, I will. Like I said, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain the actual track itself. It's for me anyway. It's hard for me to explain. But overall, the song is actually good, really good. Same with the band as well. So yeah, really cool band. So what's your take?
Well, I picked this one because it's unique, because it had a different feel to it. I like picking, something a little bit different. But yeah, they're from Dallas. They're from Dallas, Texas. This band. Yeah, the start was like a light rock kind of, like you said, like almost like an EDM feel to it. But it does get a lot heavier through the song. Great transitions though from the light to the heavier. The vocals are excellent. Good vocal range, which was good. Guitars and the drums were good throughout. The guitar riffs were super cool. The drums were super with the bass backing. Oh my goodness, they're very good. Lyrics are deep. I've tried my best to not get carried away. I'm always caving under the pressure. Despite all I know, I can't help but do this alone. Like, oh my goodness, so deep. That's deep lyrics.
Yeah,
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 basically like trying to escape life, basically. It's like a deeper meaning to the song, which yeah, I like deep
yeah,
lyrics.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I like the pace from the fast to the slower parts. They all worked well together, and I like the use of the keyboards in this. So yeah, I really like this band.
yeah. Same. So, what's your rating?
I'm kind of flip flopping between an 8 and an 8.5. 8.5. Like I'm kind of like right in there
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
I really liked the different like the uniqueness of this band. But I'm like I'm right in between there. Kind of hard to do a solid, so I'm kind of in between the 8 and the 8.5. So,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. I'm going for a solid 8.5. A solid 8.5 because it's a straight view to like sort of like unique band. So if I was like thinking, yeah, I like this, and I'll give it like a solid 8.5. I would like to listen a little bit more
Mhm.
from them, but yeah, a solid 8.5 for me.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's really good band. So yeah, so overall, the 6 bands that we've sort of like done today, what was your sort of like? I think I've got a fair idea. But what's your favourite band out of these six?
I think After Forever. I think
Yeah,
that's always going to be the 10, right? That's always going to
yeah,
be up there at
yeah,
the top.
yeah,
Like I really
yeah,
liked all of them. I really liked all of them. The Minimal Regrets one would be in there. It's hard to say because Runescarred was there too, but After Forever is at
yeah,
the top.
yeah, yeah. I had a couple of bands in mind when they would have been your favourites. Uh, After Forever would be like pretty much right at the top. Then I would say Luca is the next one. Yeah, because of the orchestral, like sort of pipe to the right with the orchestral orchestra involved. Then possibly Rose Garden in sort of with Minimal Regrets up there, like tie-in for the
Yeah,
vibe for
for the second.
the sort of yeah,
Yeah, same, same. Because they're 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 so good, but they're not at After Forever. Not quite there yet.
yeah,
At
yeah,
least for me. At least for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, and like I said, guys, all the links are actually in the description down below. Down below. So if you ever want to listen to the bands, please do. And when you listen to them, please come back and say, "Oh yeah, I really liked," or "I didn't really particularly that particular band doesn't resonate with me," which is fine because not every band that we feature here is to everyone's taste. Uh, Different people have different tastes, so yeah, don't worry about offending us. We just bring you the bare bands. If you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. It's
Yeah. And
yeah,
please, if you like a certain band, put it in the description. Put it um in the comment section, the band and the song. No links, but put the band in there, and then we can take a listen to it and maybe do a review of it. And then that lets us know what you're listening to and what you like and what you want to hear, like what you more you want to hear. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, and if you are in a band and you want us to do a sort of like a live review or do a review of a couple of an EP or a written version of it anywhere, let us know and we'll sort something out. So yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break there because I've been drinking a hell of a lot of water
Yeah.
these last few minutes. It's been way too warm in the UK, so I'm sort of being a good boy, drinking a lot of water, and I need to go to the toilet. So I'll be back in a
All
minute.
right. All right. Okay, guys. If you haven't hit that like yet, please hit that like, share, subscribe, comment. It really helps the channel. Yeah, I'm just gonna mention a few of the gigs that are happening here. These ones are for Edmonton, June 26th. North Lane, Invent, Animate, Thornhill, and Windtalker is going to be playing at the Union Hall on June 26th. And in Pigeon Lake, there's going to be the Pigeon Lake Music Festival from June 29th to June 30th, which is coming up here. Strumbella's, Loverboy, Default, Serena Ryder, Tom Cochran, and so many others are coming there. So yeah, if you like any of those ones, go check them out. July 6th, Gowan is playing at the River Cree Resort and Casino in Edmonton. If you haven't seen Gowan, he's amazing. He's an amazing live performer. June 16th or July 16th, sorry, Paul Bear is playing at the Starlight Room in Edmonton. And on August 15th, Nazareth is playing at the River Cree Resort and Casino in Edmonton. August 23rd to August 23rd and August 25th, Metallica is playing at the Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. The August 23rd show, there's going to be Pantera, Mammoth with Wolfgang Van Halen playing. And then on the 25th, the August 25th show, Ice Nine Kills and Five Finger Death Punch is going to be playing with Metallica. So yeah, guys, go check them out. There are a few gigs coming for September if you want to plan early. September 12th is Extreme Living Color at River Cree Resort and Casino in Enoch, Alberta. September 21st is Testament and Creator is going to be playing at the River Cree Resort and Casino, Enoch, Alberta, which is just outside of Edmonton. October 19th, Misery Signals is playing at the Union Hall in Edmonton. October 20th, Evanescence and Hailstorm is going to be playing at Rogers Place in Edmonton. That's going to be a really good show. November 29th, Bachman Turner Overdrive, one of my favorites, is going to be playing at Rogers Place in Edmonton, November 29th, right? And Mother is playing on February 22nd of next year, 2025, at Rogers Place in Edmonton. So yeah, if you guys want to go check them out, that's who's going to be playing there. Please hit that like, share, subscribe, comment, because it really does help the channel. Yeah, are you back?
I'm back. That feels a lot better.
I say as I drink my tea.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Yeah, so just before we get I've got a few announcements to make, but that'll be later on in the show. With the recording interviews and videos that's going to be coming up this week for the channel. So, right, we are continuing our gorgeous Lisaboo's journey through the world of Raymond Feist and the Rift War Legacy. So, you've finished the two books, the Prince of Blood and the King's Buccaneer, but you've started the Crondor books, primarily the first book in the trilogy, The Betrayal. So we've sort of discussed this on briefly on because as you just started it, briefly on The Betrayal. So how far are you up to now within the book?
I'm on page 149, so I'm almost all the way through chapter 8.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't finish all that chapter last night. I was like, one more page, I could finish it. No, I didn't. I was a little bit shy.
Yeah.
Almost finished chapter 8.
Cool. So, there's a few characters in there that come back for the Chrono books. So, and there's a couple of new characters in there that sort of like come from without giving it too much away, a magic school, which I won't say who set it up or anything like that. You need to read The Magician to understand what has happened since then. Anyway, since The Magician. So What did you think of the returning characters and the new characters?
Well, like I said last time, seeing that other character was kind of a shock going from those books to this book, which is because it's basically 20 years after the Rift War, and the Prince of the Blood and that. So it this is 10 years after the Rift War. So there's some characters in there that it's just kind of shocking to see that they were there. Took my mind a little bit to get used to wrap around what time it was and stuff. So it's 10 years after the Rift War.
Yeah,
I liked getting to know those characters a little bit better. Although, like through the other books, you kind of got to know them too. But this is almost like 10 years of information that you didn't know, right? Because the other ones were 20 years after the Rift War. This is 10 years after the Rift War. So there was like 10 years that was missing between them, right? So,
yeah,
like, how did they get
yeah,
there,
yeah.
right?
The character. Oh yeah, the character that we're talking about is first introduced in the Silverthorn book, and continues in the Darkness of Sethinon book as well. And then that character continues into the Crondor books as well. So, and it's like well, it's a him anyway. He sort of like is in the book in the series for how many? Sort of like six books. Yeah, six books altogether. And there was like sort of like a rapid, I wouldn't say rapid, but a good story, a good like sort of like a good sort of story arc of that particular character.
Yeah,
So yeah, you'll like I said, you'll understand what happened in how he got to that particular point within Prince of Blood, within the well, obviously, within the well, you got to know him in the Silverthorn and in Darkness of Sethinon, but you also get to know more, much better, within the Crondor books as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And um, the Prince of the Blood and yeah, those books as well. Um, well, at least, yeah. I, I don't want to give too much away.
yeah,
It's hard not to say, but yeah, him and his like cohort, we'll say,
yeah,
are both in this book again. So
yeah, yeah. It's a good storyline, the way Feist obviously took the basic premise of the computer game, because the Chrono Books was a computer game. Obviously, he licensed the certain characters from his books over to do the computer game, but the books weren't in existence, if you know what I mean, until they sort of like realised that the computer game had somewhat of a success, and he thought his publishers said, write a companion trilogy, sort of like a companion story to the computer game. So he said, right, okay, and he wrote Chrono books. because it's sort of like within the books itself. It's sort of like who done it type of thing. And you try to find out who whatever. Well, I know what happens within the book within the books. Sort of like who who is this? Who are these mysterious characters, so to speak?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's kind of cool to see the development of his character, because there was that missing piece, right? For like 10 years of like, how did he get to this place, and Prince of the Blood and stuff, right? So it was, yeah, it kind of fills in some gaps there of how him and his cohort kind of became, how they changed.
yeah, that's the thing with it goes from like the end of which I won't give anything away in the Darkness of Sethinol, like Andy and Silvertone. I won't give too much. I won't give anything away. But once these two particular characters go together, becoming friends, and it sort of like develops from there. It's sort of like how they actually supporting each other, how they actually like shall we say have a few choice words with each few choice words in certain situations, and one of them slaps up like metaphorically. Obviously, it's literature. It's a fantasy world. Sort of like slaps this particular character upside the head a few times, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's sort of like the interaction between both of them are sometimes sometimes it's hilarious. Others you sort of like the one the main one is sort of like is very cynical, very jaded, even though that he's at a young age. He is sort of like very cynical, very jaded, very sort of like um he's sort of like he's one of those he's pessimistic in a
Yeah.
way because of what he had to endure when he was younger. And the other character is naive in a lot of ways. He's proper full on naive. He's proper full on naive.
Yeah. 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 Just like in life, we know those kind of characters, right? And then as they get older, they get the experience and stuff, and they're not so naive anymore.
Yeah,
Or so jaded. Sometimes it works that way too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's also it's like other characters in there as well who become really good friends with like the two well basically the two main characters where they sort of like they go out and help try and solve the mystery of who's behind these sort of like events, what's happening, if you know what I mean. They're trying to find I'm trying really hard not to give anything away, but it's like this something like I said, there's certain events happening within these books, and you pretty much got to solve the mystery. Got to seriously solve the mystery of it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, it's not just fantasy and stuff. It's like a thriller, mystery, adventure, fantasy, who done it kind of thing
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like with the Crondor books, if you like your sort of like crime thriller mystery whodunit type of thing set in a fantasy world, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love the Crondor books.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, is there certain apart from the two main characters, um, is there any other characters that you sort of like thinking, oh, I would like to know about them a bit more as you go through the book?
Yes. Um. Oh. Yes.
You can't, yeah,
It's
you
like I
can't
want to
say the
say
name.
who. I
You
know.
can't, you can't say the names.
I know. I want to.
You can't say
It's
the
hard.
names, so you can.
I want to say the names, but I know I
Yeah, you
can't.
can't. You can't. You can't. You just like thinking, oh, which character would you want to know more about?
Well, um, uh, I think because everybody, I'm trying to remember his name right now. Not Owen, but the Morital. Um, oh, what's his name now? Me and names. Why didn't I write it down? Um, Gola? Gola? G. Starts with G. Golaf, I think is his name. He's the Morital chieftain. Um,
Oh, yeah,
I would
yeah.
like to know. I would like to know more about him and his
He,
backstory.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's one of the tribes from the
North.
tribe chieftain
Yeah.
from the Brotherhood of the Dark Path,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
descending from the guy who the son, I think, of the character in Silverthorn.
Well, yeah, because they he ended up taking over for his father that was killed. So that was unalived. Sorry. Um,
Yeah,
um, I would like to know more about him. Like, cause that could be another story, right? Like how that all that part, right? Because it does explain some of it. Because it's hard to like talk about the book and not say the characters.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know like if they had like you kind of learn a little bit as you go along in this book about um, as he explains a little bit more about what happened to him and stuff and um, but yeah, his right now um, it's like he's trying to help them. He's trying to help our other. He's trying to like help Prince Arufa and stuff now. So where a lot of people don't like the Moradel because of the the past with the wars and stuff, especially in Armengar, um, all that past, right? So now people look at his people as villains, basically. So yeah, that's kind of why I'd like to know more about that character.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You will get to find out a little bit more as you go in through like the betrayal and then into the assassins, and a little bit more in the Tears of the Gods, Tear of the Gods, um, how certain events is basically manipulated by someone or something So yeah,
Yeah, I can kind of see it going that way, but as the book goes, the more I want to keep turning the pages. Right?
yeah,
It's like it was
yeah,
with the first, like with the magician, and that whole like the Rift War, like this really is like because it is the legacy, right? So it's kind of the same thing where I'm wanting to turn pages really fast.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing with like yeah, with like the where it's um going throughout the series. It's sort of like there's always like an underlying sort of like storyline, and over time you sort of like thinking, hang on, it's sort of like this, like I said, when you first started to read the books, you sort of like there is a storyline, and you sort of like that runs throughout, and you sort of like pick up that storyline, yeah, like continuous sort of storyline. You sort of like that's when you start putting things together, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
it's sort of you thinking, oh right, that storyline over here goes with that storyline over there, and this storyline down here is connected to this bit of storyline up here, and it's sort of like sort of like it's a bit like one of those board things with all the red lines going all over the place, and you think,
My brain's doing it.
yeah,
I have so many red strings going.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's but like I keep saying, you might think you're thinking, oh, it's going down this path, but you're thinking, then all of a sudden, is it Feist will turn around and says, no, it's not, no, it's not. It's going down this path. It's
Yeah.
sort of like mislead you, misdirect you. And you're
Yeah.
thinking, sometimes you literally thinking, I'm pulling my hair out of here, Feist. You just yeah, I've got a theory of where this book's going, and you just pulled the rug right underneath from underneath us and said it's going down that path, and you'd be cursing them, and you thinking, why did you just do that for?
Sometimes it's like good one, good one. I see what you're doing there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's just
Yeah.
like thinking, oh gosh, yeah. He's just like thinking, yeah, good one. Now he's thinking, oh right, you'd be thinking, oh right, okay, now I get you. But he's just like thinking, and you come up with new theories, and he's sort of like,
Yeah.
he's done it again.
Yeah, I know. He always keeps you guessing. That's
Yeah,
part of the charm. That's part of the charm of his book is you don't know. You don't know until you're like even when you're done that book, you're starting another book. So,
yeah,
so
yeah.
sometimes
He's
you don't
sort,
know.
yeah, yeah. He sort of like does sort of like does sort of like give you the leads there, but sometimes he sort of like plants something in there, and it's sort of like like you say, he goes off from what you go from one way, and he says no, 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 and he pulls you back and puts you in like on the proper path, if you know what I mean.
And throwing in almost a look-alike of one of the characters was kind of an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, yeah,
A doppelganger. Like I was thinking, oh, okay, what you
yeah.
gonna do here? Yeah, that was interesting. That was kind of a
That
yeah.
particular, I won't say anything, but that character comes back.
I kind of figured they would because there has to
I,
be something there.
I won't
Yeah.
say where. I won't say where or when, but he does come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Just kind of interesting how they put that in there, right? Like,
yeah,
I've had people come up to me, like in real life, saying, I know you. I know you. I worked with you. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I do not know you. And they would just flat out say, no, we work together. Like,
yeah,
no, I'm sorry.
yeah. I've had that myself. I've had that myself a good few years back, where when I went out, when I started to go back out to doing reviewing, seeing bands live in Sunderland. There's been one somebody come up and was just saying, "I know you. I used to drink with you uh, back in the 80s." I was like, "Dude, no,
No.
back in the 80s, back in the mid 80s, I was 13. How the hell
No
am I
way.
supposed to?" You know what I mean? I was like, "He got no chance. It's definitely not me.
Yeah.
Definitely not me." I
Yeah.
was old enough to go out. I
I
was like,
know.
"You got."
They're just adamant. Like this lady was just adamant
Uh,
that she, and then that's not like that. That's happened to me a few times. And it's like, and I'm thinking, is this the same person or is this another, another doppelganger? And they were like right close to me, like looking at me, and it was just kind of creepy. Like, who
yeah,
is this other person? I want to see them. I want to, you know. So they
yeah.
say
Oh,
that everyone has like a person or maybe a few people that look like. But
yeah,
that was really creepy to me though. Like it was just like,
yeah,
wow, okay.
yeah. Yeah, they do say you do. Everybody's got a doppelganger somewhere in the world. So
Yeah.
yeah, I totally get where you're coming from with that, and it's like within the portrayal,
Yeah.
uh, with the certain characters having it sort of like a doppelganger.
Yeah. I found that very interesting because I like, and having it happen to me, like it really like it made it. Some people it hasn't happened to them, so they're like, I mean, really? That no, that doesn't happen. But yes, it does happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, it does happen. It does happen. Yeah. Um, so what's your expectations from this book? Have you put, obviously you must have like formed a few theories.
Yes, but I try not to. I try not to have too many theories because, like we were saying with Feist, he can take you down in a totally different avenue. Let's say, um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's oh, he's such a master at writing, and yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of hard to like, but I do have like some thoughts of where he might go, but whether or not it goes that way, it's hard to say.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing with Feist. You just like sort of like grabs you. Sort of like in some cases, he does sort of like hold your hand and sort of like lead you through certain things, and then other things he just like sort of like let goes of your hand, and he sort of like gives you sort of like something, and he sort of like
Yeah,
let your imagination run riot, and he's sort of like thinking, I'm free, I can actually, but he grabs hold of you, and he says that theory is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold your hand.
Yeah,
I like that. But yeah, sometimes he runs. It's like you're on your own.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. He's just like, that's the thing. That's the thing with the beauty of with Feist. He's sort of like he paints, like he writes a proper, full-on, a multicolor sort of like world where you can't sort of like get lost in it, so to speak, and you sort of like all you want to do is just go and explore everything about it, and you think even though that there's like a sort of like a narrative what Feist uh, does, but it's just like thinking, oh, there's a character I want to explore them, or there's this big sort of like magical city I want to go and explore. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Yeah.
sort of like he sort of like paints a picture, so to speak, and you just want
Oh
to
yeah.
and the way he describes that particular scene in the city with the characters, and he's just like thinking, you get to the point where he's so close because he paints that picture. You can say smell this. You can smell the shops, the stalls, the spice merchants. You can smell the open sewers of certain parts of the. You know what I mean? You can.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah,
was part of it where
yeah,
they went down, and it was like, okay,
yeah,
let's go to a different part of the city now. But yeah, they
yeah,
talk about the spice merchants and the flowers, and like when he was saying um, when they were describing the person that dropped off the ale in the wagon and how he smelled the weathered, what was it, sunny tarp, like a sunny tarp and flowers, and you can just
yeah,
get that, you get that like smell of that. I know exactly what you're saying. How it
yeah,
makes you can just like smell it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if where even when if you go out into sort of like this big woodland, and you sort of like go into the clearing, and you see all these sort of like all the meadow flowers, and you smell all the wild flowers, or he's so descriptive. It's like there's like um, a large sort of like herd of deer running past, and you think, and especially like with Martin, with being a like uh, hunter turned duke, which I won't say who Martin is, but you got to read the books to actually understand who Martin is. In the people, and he described like through Martin. Feist actually describes him, and he paints a vivid picture of this particular stag, and he's like, oh yeah, he's, you know what I mean? You can actually see it in your mind's eye, this particular amazing stag, and he's sort of like, yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
he's,
even just the smell of the mud. Like they were talking about the mud and how it had that the smell, and yeah.
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 Yeah. It's like I said, the way this is one of the reasons why I love Feist is the way he actually writes and describes certain things in this, which becomes important. You might not think it, but it does come. It does. It does sort of like important in a way to the storyline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's sort of like with Martin uh, talking to a couple of the characters, and he's saying that yeah, you only with him being a hunter, the only thing, yeah, I'm sorry vegans, but it's part of life. People go hunt for food. Sorry, right, but it's a factor. It's a factor of life. Get over yourselves. So basically, the Martin is basically telling the two characters that you only take what you need from the environment. Don't over. Don't just kill for 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 the hell of it. Only take what you need from the environment, and that's why I said that this particular stag was like sort of like important to the herds because he's sort of like decided God knows how many phones over the course of his life being like the head stag,
Yeah.
and he said sort of like, you know what I mean? It's sort of like he's sort of like giving you a sort of like a life lesson there type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
There's nothing wrong with being a vegan, though. I don't
yeah,
want any vegans out there to be.
yeah, it's yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, there's nothing. I
I've
mean,
got
you can go forage for your berries and stuff and all that kind of stuff too. But
oh,
I know what
yeah,
I just I'm of the mindset where the same thing that you don't take what you can't use. Especially in the Native American, they use everything of the animal. Like it's not, and then they'll pray to the animal and thank them for for their sacrifice basically for food. And so yeah. Anyways, just so people out there don't get that. I
yeah,
love you vegans.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like I said, it's like a lesson there where you just like only take what you need,
yeah,
only take what you need.
yeah. And they
Doesn't
use
matter.
everything. Yeah, they use
Yeah,
everything from the animal, like from all of it. Like even with the bones and stuff, they'll do stuff. But I mean, like that's part of a culture, right? So um,
yeah,
and for food and sustenance, and it's not just like I really don't like sports hunting. I really don't like them taking, leaving the animal there and then taking the head or whatever. Like that to me is I really sorry sportsmen out there that do it, but I I don't really agree with it. So yeah, I guess
yeah,
each their own. But
yeah. I'm with you. It's just like only take what you need. Now, this sports hunting is just like to me, it's just gross on so many levels.
well,
Fair enough.
uh,
Yeah,
it's oh, I get sad when I think of that because that animal, like they just, it's a sport, and that's not a. I don't want to get upset
yeah,
because yeah, to me it's like murder, uh,
yeah,
or the M word. I don't want to say the word.
yeah,
I just yeah,
yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's just like it's just I can understand people hunting uh, say for instance that they kill one deer.
Mhm.
I can understand that because they can and they take it away and actually get it all dressed and everything, and they feed them for about 6 months, which is fair enough. I
Yeah.
can understand that.
Yeah. To
But when
survive.
like you said, yeah, to survive. But when some of these people sort of like kill how much whatever, that's just like that's just wrong to me.
Mhm.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bit of
That's another conversation.
that's another conversation. But anyway, back to Feist. Back to Feist. So yeah, it's his writing sort of like does paint a huge picture with like some life lessons in there, some life lessons in there. So yeah, it's like yeah, it does paint a picture of this the sights, the smells, the what people are wearing or what not they wear or what not they're wearing or lack of.
Yeah.
So yeah, and how certain cultures actually certain cultures' attitudes towards certain things, whether it be um, about to quote Sheldon Cooper, was it what's his favorite thing about the SEX?
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I mean about because you get the Prince of Blood.
yeah. Well, but that's a culture too, right? Like that, and they're in a
That's
hot. That's in a hot climate, so
yeah,
I can understand why.
yeah,
I could understand why, but yeah.
yeah. And there's other cultures that are very prudish as well, very
Yeah.
prudish.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, he got like, and there's everything in between as well. You know what I mean? You got like on one hand you got like coitus, a culture who's got absolutely practically no boundaries about coitus, and you got on the other hand you got like very prudish people. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then it's everything in between.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? That's life. That's people. That's there's always going to be far right, far left, in between. There's always going to be, you know, yin
Yeah.
yang, all that kind of,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Like yeah. It's Feist is like I said, he's a brilliant writer, and he like I said he sort of like once you start reading his books, he just like not only are you taking what he's written down, but it's also you are sort of like adding to it as well in your own head,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
And
It's sort of
dreaming
like
about it.
yeah, I'm dreaming about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
say for instance, you like taking when you read about Brilliant, the capital of the Kingdom of the Isles, which I won't say too much about it because it's an integral part of certain parts of the story. He's sort of like as he writes about what he what when certain characters visit Brilliant, he's sort of like he's sort of like there looking through the eyes of these characters, and you're thinking, "Oh my God, what the hell? This is so beautiful." This, with that, you know what I mean? It's sort of like,
Yeah.
and you,
Yeah. Well, especially when they talk about the architecture and stuff like that too, right? And yeah. Yeah, it really
it's
brings you there. It's like you're right there. And
yeah. He's like, then he's then obviously, like I said, as you as you sort of like read the story and you look through the eyes of these characters, you sort of like your mind starts to add a few extra bits to it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And the subconscious is a powerful thing. So when you dream and like I said before, especially when I was reading the Empire books, it was like I was going off into different like, parts of that world, right? And it's so cool, like how the brain works, right? I just found it interesting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. My sort of like my favorite part of the Empire books is I won't say too much, but when Mara goes on that journey,
Mm, yes.
and yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when she
Totally.
crests that when she crests that hill. Yeah, oh, that scene there. I won't. I like I say I'm trying not to spoil too much, but yeah, you know what I mean. When she crests that hill and and sees
Yeah.
that fist that
Yeah.
she sees, it's just like, oh, it was absolutely stunning. Like I said, the way Feist actually wrote that part of that story. It
Yeah.
was Johnny Wirtz mainly wrote that story. It was, yeah,
Yeah. Just even now I can close my eyes and I can see it. Like
yeah.
and it's a
Oh God,
it's a fantastical world, but it's like, you read these books and it's like you're there. So um, it becomes part of you.
oh yeah. Even now, might not have read the Empire books for a while, but remembering that particular part of that story, it's coming back to us. I can actually see it now. I can actually see what seeing
Yeah.
for the first time, if you know what I mean. Because it Feist wrote that Feist and words, um, sort of like, yeah, it's
Yeah. That's why I want more people to read the book. That's
yeah,
why, because because of this, because of the how in depth they are, how in depth he is, like how he describes things, how he writes, it's like I have a real passion for these books now, and I want other people to experience that, right? To have that. Of course, some people it's not their thing, and that's okay too. Like try reading a
yeah,
book, try reading Magician, and see what you think, and
yeah,
um, take a chance, like I did. I just dove
yeah.
in. I dove in.
Yeah, I was going to say you dove in, putting head first and feet first at the same time, and you just like said, "Yeah, screw this, I'm fucking buying the book."
I know.
Even even though I said go to your local library first and see if you can actually get it and read
Yeah.
it first.
To quote
uh,
Monopoly, go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Just dive in.
yeah, yeah. It's just that's the thing with yeah, when I've recommend Feist, I always turn around and say go to your local library first before you start because it is a lot of money to uh, pull out like especially on an author you haven't read before, if you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah, but
if
I
you
took a chance.
yeah yeah
Yeah,
yeah and
but
well
yeah,
but it's
if you yeah, go to the library. If you don't have any way to get the book, but yeah,
yeah yeah
and then there's
yeah
me diving in.
yeah yeah yeah. It's like with any sort of like the only reason why I started reading Feist is because I found the Tea of the Gods at a discount bookstore.
Yeah,
I think I've only paid about £3 or £4 at the time, and just as well like a bit like you, but I you know what I mean. It wasn't that much money to like so if I didn't like it, I didn't really lose that much if I didn't like it. But I did, and
yeah,
That's how I started reading Feist.
yeah, yeah. Well, now I'm now here I am. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
hooked. Yeah,
and it's like yeah. I think it once you are sort of like, and this I mean this in a good way. You're sort of like bookworm type of thing.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I can honestly say that that is me.
Yeah,
Um, it got me back into reading though, because for the longest time, I wasn't like like I said, I couldn't find an author that I would get so disappointed um, in a book. I'd buy it and it would just be, oh, it just wouldn't be it. I would, in the first chapter, I'd know what was going to happen, and I would, being me, I would read the whole book. I'd read it all and be so disappointed to finish what I start.
yeah. Oh god, yeah,
it would it would be so disappointing, and yeah, but I gave Feist a chance, and I'm glad I did.
yeah. Yeah, it's like yeah. When I look at like a new author, I always read the back to say, oh yeah, this is like give you sort of like the back gives you some sort of like a plot point, couple of
Yeah,
plot points. I've found like there's quite a few authors that I've got. Um, Sort of like gives you just enough to get you hooked in to think, oh, this is interesting, and you sort of like I sort of like with me anyway, I sort of like read the first couple of pages of the book, and if the first couple of pages sort of like gives you just enough to get draw you in
mhm,
from like from the back page, like from like uh, the the sort of like synopsis of it, it's sort of like oh this is interesting. Then that's when I buy it. But if the synopsis gives you too much and the first couple of pages are sort of like a bit lackluster, you just like thinking, ah, I should put the book back, type of thing.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I from what you said about I took a chance. I did. I kind of dove in, but I'm glad I
yeah,
did. I want other people. I want other people to experience it and read them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's like with me, it's like when I first read the Tales of the Gods. It is sort of like when like technically I read all the Grundle books. And I thought that this is really good storyline between all three. It's sort of like three independent books, but they still got like that couple of the storyline that you could you think what's the storyline? What they going what are they going on about? What are they saying? What and it sort of like piqued your interest. It piqued my interest in like to get in the Rift saga.
yeah,
And it's like when I read The Magician, it the first chapter, it just like completely drew me in. Who
same.
is this punk? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Who is this punk? Who is this Thomas? Who is this Mitchin? Who is this Cullen? Who is this Duke Borwick? Yeah, it's sort of like you know what I mean. It's like really, really sort of like drew, draws you in, kicking and screaming, and you're thinking, I want to read more. I want to read more. I want to read more. Constant page turner.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It really is. It really is. Because I write down like on the I'll put a on the front of the book. I'll put like when I started it and when I finished it, right? Just so I know exactly when I started it or when I finished it. Um, kind of, I'd have to go back. I don't think it took me very long to read
Yeah,
that book.
yeah, that's the
I
thing.
was like, yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing that you once you read Magician, you want to read it again because there's so many little nuances within that book where you need to reread about what, and that's the beauty of Feist. He is so you can constantly go back to them,
yeah.
constantly go back to them, and you pick up little nuances every single time.
And that's the thing about actually having that physical copy where you can go back and read it, right? You have it then you have it to go back as many times as you want to reread it like down the road. So
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's a lot of money to pull out, but over time, it's well worth it. It's well worth the money to actually get there to get the books. It's because it is the readability of the series.
yeah,
You know when you want to like you want to constantly read them.
yeah. And you can get the paperback, which is, just as good. The Magician is split up though into the two. For people that are thinking about reading it, it's two parts to the Magician in the paperback. So yeah, it's not that bad really. It's less than I'd say it's comparable. I'm trying to think exactly because yours is in pounds and ours is in Canadian dollars. Um,
Yeah, bear with this for a second there.
yeah,
Ow.
so yeah, it's really not that bad as far as because I mean, when you think about the cost of say a movie ticket, right? And you get a book and read it. It's comparable, and then you own this book and you can read it as many times as you want. So if you look at it that way, really not that bad as far as price, especially if you get the paperback, which I have gotten paperbacks. But if I do manage to find the hardcovers, that would be nice to have as a collection too.
Right. The
I
Magician.
was just saying that the price of a book, it's comparable to the price of a movie ticket, and then you own this book and you can read this how many times, compare it, like, and you compare it that way, right? To
Yeah. This is like it says. This is Magician, and it's battered to hell. And I mean, literally battered to hell. It's literally dropping a bit. Literally dropping a bit, but yeah. When I first got this was £7.90, £7.99, nearly £8. And you can see it's quite a sizable book. So, and that was like I said 23 years ago when I first got this. So it'll be a few quick. It'll be around about 10 now.
yeah, and then they do have the two, the 2 parts for the paperback now that you can get, unless you can find the original and the one. That would be the one.
I know in the UK they put the 2 books together. Like I've got it here. This because this is like a revised edition I've got. Let me just see. Here we go. Chapter 21. No, chapter 20. Hang on, where is it? There we go. That's chapter 1. That's book 1, which is the Magician, and that's book 2, which is Milamba, and the Vallaroo. That there. So it's pretty much it's about 400 pages each. Yeah.
Yeah. This one it's about the same as these ones.
Yeah. And this is the Silverthorn is book 3. Book 3. Yeah. That's book 3. Jimmy and it's Silverthorn. It's the actual book, but it's like Jimmy and the Bear, Arutha and Jimmy. So, I mean, this is basically book 4. Darkness is setting on, and these 2 are at the time £7, and these were like I said 23 years ago. So obviously the smaller compared to the Magician.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the your cover is different to mine.
Yeah, I think trying to remember if it's red.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either silver with red or I can't remember now.
Yeah, it's a similar design because the Silverthorn is in red. Yeah. So, and this is Darkness is setting on.
Yeah, those are cool covers. Yeah. Kind of cool to see the different designs for the different countries.
Yeah, and different times. Because if you did take a look at some of the more modern boats. I've gotten the primarily black with a sort of like motif on the front.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like say for instance like Talon of the Silverhawk. It's basically a black cover with a silver hawk on the front in mid-flight with the talons out. Hence hence the motif, the talon of the silver hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant boat, brilliant boat. So
Yeah, I can tell you're getting tired.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting for nearly 2 hours anyway.
Yeah.
So let's start wrapping things up. Right, before we start wrapping things up, we've got a couple of announcements to make for the channel. In the coming weeks, right until October, and there's more interviews coming in all the time. We've got this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. UK time. I'm going to be interviewing Gary and Danny from Cheap Thrill. We've got Michelle Ryder from Nova Scotia coming in to do at the 6th of July. This is in July on the 6th. We've got then we've got Christina Vela, Rick O'Neill, Rich Clark. I'm hoping to get John Ferreira, which is a rearrange interview on the 3rd of August. Jason Morgan on the 10th of August. Bob Mitchell on the 23rd. That's just been confirmed on the 23rd. Which is let me see, which is the Friday, which is the Friday of August 23rd. Then I'm hoping to get Carlos Arroyo on in sometime in August. I'm also hoping to Carlos and Roy Coston. Yeah, Roy Coston just got to confirm a couple of things. Got to confirm the dates and times for Carlos Arroyo and Roy Coston. And then we've got Mark McCowan from Define Martyr on the 12th of October. So, yeah, going to get like I said, we're going to the interviews will keep coming in. That's what's coming up for the interviews. Right, and then these last couple of days I've been, I wouldn't say furiously, but I've edited quite 4 videos. One came out yesterday when I was at Tanfield in the northeast of England, which is a historic railway site. They had a delivery of several new trains to the site, new train engines. So there's also asked one of the local car clubs to put on a car show for them as well over the weekend. So I did I had a walk around the main train, the main yard for where they stored the trains and everything. So it's a really good. If you're into trains, you're gonna love the video that I released yesterday. Today, I released the car show from Tanfield, and then on just let me get this up. So on tomorrow, let me just see where I get the right time. When phone plays ball. On tomorrow, I'm gonna be. I did a video about which is like about a mile down the train line. I did a video on Cozy Arch in County Durham. Now, this arch is literally 300 years old, and it's the only single span arch in the world at 31 meters wide. It's the only one that's still in existence. So I did our Lisaboo as sent over a couple of little photos and little clips of the video.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to enjoy that if you're going to yeah. What do you think of the little clips?
Love them. I love architecture, so it was amazing to see a part of a different country too. But it's so peaceful, so beautiful. So yeah, guys, check it out.
Now, I do believe I sent over a couple of pictures of this of the next video that's going to be released on Wednesday. The Knife Angel.
Yeah.
Now, this is a stunning sculpture made out of knives, and it might look stunning, but it's got a dark past to it. I did in the when it's released, click on the link to to the website of how this actually came about. It's like I say, it's got a dark history to this angel. I'll give you a little bit brief glimpse because when I went to see this last week, I literally was talking to the one of the guys who actually ran who was there to actually do. This is that there. That's what it's called, and that's where it's going. It is at the minute. But yeah, I'll give you a little brief thing. It's 27 feet tall, made up of 100,000 knives taken off the street by the police. And it also weighs in at 3.5 tons. You can tell. And there is a size comparison with me in standing in front of it. And I'm, yeah. Please, when you do watch the video, please, when you finish watching the video, click on the link to the Knife Angel and actually read all about it. It is yeah. That's all I'm going to say about it. So yeah, that's what's coming up on the channel this week and for the next good few months. So yeah. Right, Lisa. It's getting up for 2 hours 5 minutes. Have you got any final words before we start wrapping things up?
Just a thank you to everyone that comes and watches it. Love you, replay crew. Yeah, make sure you tell people that you love them. We don't know how much time we have on this earth, so Yeah, give them all the love and hugs that you can.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna have a drink or party, or if you're gonna go out and drink, leave your keys at home or get alternative transportation to get home. Please don't drink and drive. It's not a good thing to do. You get an Uber, get your friend to take you home. Have a designated driver. Do what you got to do to not drink and drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it, Justin Timberlake. Don't. It's not a cool thing to do. It's a proper dick move. Proper dick move. It's we've seen the carnage. Literally, we've seen the carnage of basically the aftermath of these idiots who think it's fine to drink and drive. It's not nice. It's not pleasant. It is definitely not pleasant. Not only are you going to ruin your life, you're going to ruin other people's lives as well. So it's not a dare. It's no, just don't, just don't, just don't. Or do you want me to send out Lisa Boo to kick your butt?
I will too.
Yeah,
Just don't do it.
yeah, yeah. Seriously, just don't. All kidding aside, just don't bloody do it because it's not worth it at all. It's definitely not worth it. So anyway, guys, love you guys. Replay crew, love you guys. Yeah, and yeah, hugs all around, hearts all around. So until next time, guys, catch you all later.